Good afternoon again. This is the second recording on November the 20th. It's now about 2:20 or something. It's Sunday. I did a little technology update earlier today, which I hope was useful. And I'll carry on doing those, and when things change or I use technology in a particular way, and as I get it on board, I'll show you and tell you what I've got, and hopefully, and explain the reasoning behind it, so it'll help other filmmakers make decisions about how to spend precious pennies, well, pounds. Anyway, so back to the film itself, TheFort. Well, tomorrow I've got a meeting with Evie, makeup department. Evie, she's got 2 assistants, which I'm looking forward to. That'll be good. We're going to have the script has changed really since I last spoke to her, and I just wanted to really catch up with her, fill her in on what's the the way things are happening at the moment, the where we are, and really to give her a good idea of when filming is planned to start, which would be in 2012. So it looks like we may get a brief bit of filming of one of the small scenes, a sort of interview type scene with the officer Schaefer before the end of the year, which I'm really pushing to. That definitely, it looks like we could do it, and I think that's we've got the kit for that. We've got all the costume, we've got all the technology, we've got lights, we have the camera for that. We're probably going to use Gurdeep's Canon 7D for that, which I think those kind of cameras are very good, I think, at the sort of documentary type an interview sort of process uses. I think it's like the 5D as well. Sure, you can make a film on the 5D, it's full frame, no worries. But I think they're aimed at very specific type of films rather than this sort of big feature, the big movie. I could be wrong. That's purely my amateur opinion. So, but we see with G70, we shot the Sponsor Me video, and I thought it looked really good, and I liked it, and I could see it working exactly with one of the characters in the film. Because what's going to happen is we're going to interview each of the 4 characters. We've got Schaefer, the officer, we've got Cole, the sniper, we've got Jessel, the sort of sergeant, the gritty sort of sergeant, and Huber, the young, rather sort of adventurous soldier, and this is the first time he's really kind of been let out on his own, on something meaningful. Well, it looks like it, this mission that they're on, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to interview all 4 of them as if they're being interviewed in the middle of 44, i.e. Battle of Kursk is raging, and they've been called from Kursk. They were up there, and they were called back for an unknown reason, and just before they go off sort of into the half track and down the road they go to, and the film effectively starts, what I'm going to do is release before the film is these 4 interviews, and I'm going to release it on YouTube and Facebook fan page and the website, so people can see the characters and understand a bit about them and get that sort of introduction before you actually see them in the movie. So I'm going to have this black and white interview sort of plan going, and the 4 of them will behave as you'd expect them to, i.e. as 4 very different characters, 4 very different people. Even though they're just doing an interview, I hope that those differences come across, of their characters, and what they're like, what they sort of what their aspirations are, and and maybe a bit where they've come from. But it will be very sort of raw in that I'm not really, and I haven't told them this actually, I'm not really going to give them much to go on in terms of responding to my questions. So I'll effectively be the sort of German political journalist doing an interview with German soldiers just back from Kursk, and like I said, which is still a raging massive battle. I think it was one of the biggest battles on the planet ever. You know, and I'm interviewing them with a view to getting good news out of them in order to show at the cinemas back at Berlin, that sort of thing. So, and then those will be shown. I'll just drip feed the videos out. First one in the first sort of couple of months of next year, and then throughout the remaining sort of 3/4 of the year. You know, each quarter may be a bit soon. We'll see. You know, I'll just put these out there, and hopefully that will drum up a lot more interest, you know, in the film, as it'll show interesting characters. I'm also using it actually as a good test run, a sort of rehearsal, an audition is a better word, not necessarily rehearsal. I think audition is a better word, because apart from Jordan playing Huber, you know, no one's been nailed down 100% in their characters. You know, it's haven't got the role. So I'm going to chat with Aaron next week, and although he's I mean, he's a reenactor rather than an actor, but you know, I mean, he looks good. He looks the part in the officer's uniform, and of course he's got that background knowledge. He understands the discipline, and I'm sure the sort of strategy of you know, what goes on at the smallest granularity, you know, little patrol or whatever you want to call it, right up to, you know, the Wehrmacht as a whole, and you know, and he understands that. So I think that's going to be very useful. So even if I don't feel he's right for the role of Schaefer the officer, I think you know, he's certainly very, very keen to help out, and it'd be great to have him on set to help get things right. You know, for example, when they get out the half track, they get out in a particular order, and when they're sitting in the half track, in the back of it, they're sitting in a particular order. And actually, you know, I didn't know that until he told me. I mean, it sort of makes sense now, I suppose, but you know, I didn't know that, and I'd like to get those little details right, really. I'm not going to be totally crazy and get every single fine detail, but I'm going to have a damn good go at doing it. Some things will have to give for the film because of budget, because of time, because of technology, or what have you. You know, we just don't have it. But where I can, I will press for absolute accuracy and fine detail. You know, in a way, how the Germans hold the weapons, use the weapons, load them, how they get in and out of the half track, how they set up base camp, how they patrol, how they report to the officer, how they relate to each other, you know, with that hierarchy. You know, there's an officer, there's a sergeant, you know, Cole is a corporal, the sniper, it's Huber who's the sort of private, so they are a bit of a motley crew, but they're together for reasons that will become apparent when you see the film. Anyway, I'll leave that as it is. I'm now going to watch The Victory Show, Blu-ray DVD from Dave from Cinvision, the Leicestershire Cosby 40s World War II big show. I missed it this. I think I mentioned before. Actually, I missed it because I was in Military Odyssey in Detling, down in Kent. Yeah, looking forward to that. I'll watch that, and then I probably won't do much the rest of the afternoon. But I did just want to make this quick video while I thought about it. Amazingly, this morning I was thinking about it after I visited India a few years back. I had this idea for a film, and I've been writing that script as well. It's quite a big Bollywood type thing, really. Different ball game, and you know, more on that another time. But this morning I did a load on that script. Actually, I wanted to get it out of my head while I thought about it. So that's done. Yeah. So I'll probably give an update possibly tomorrow after meeting the makeup team, but there'll definitely be one at some point next week, as I'm certainly on Wednesday I'm helping with a short film shoot in Leicester. It's Richard Burton's short film based on the script what he wrote, and I'm going to help him out with that. Really is just sort of gopher, you know. I said, you know, definitely help out in any way. It's a little trial sort of run, rather than rehearsal. I go and see the location and check it out and just see what it's like. So that's in Leicester. So looking forward to that. That's on Wednesday. That'll take up a few hours on Wednesday morning, and I think it's good to work on other people's sets before I really embark on this. I'd like to get a good, you know, 5 or 6. I've already got 2 or 3 certainly under my belt of just helping out in whatever menial way I can. So you know, I don't care in what capacity. I'm just happy to help out these guys and continue making, helping, ensuring that 7.5 Productions is, you know, a band of prolific filmmakers and accomplished ones at that. So yeah, looking forward to it. I shall sign off. See you next week.